wait till it's close to the OSCE exam time for you to start preparing for OSCE. Start preparing for OSCE and OSCE now. It's not just about bringing past questions. All those, like now, if you see a topic now, all those subtopics in a topic, those are potential essay questions.
Okay. Just try and have a minimum amount of time you read per day. Clerk. Have a minimum amount of times you clerk per week. It might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3, and just try and some people even say 5.
Hello everyone, yes, this is the last part of the video. If you haven't watched the previous video, part 1 and part 2 of this video, you would not really follow up on this particular video. So do well to go to the previous 2 videos that I posted and make sure you watch it and make sure you follow up so you can understand what this one is all about. Thank you so much for watching this last part of the video. Make sure you learn and take notes.
Okay, so the last question, you guys, so what advice would you give to people like me, like Smith, anybody out there that is about to write pediatrics and O&G? What advice would you want to give to this person on how to plan? Even if person have not started reading, I go plan in life, make a read and ginger the person that's part, like, because some people are actually scared. They try for that pediatrics, this failure thing, everybody's scared. Sometimes you want to even read and you're just scared, like, I wish after reading all this thing say that this will come out in the exams, like what you guys said now that they broke question, you don't know. So what do you think? Like, just advise us. Like, imagine you're talking to your junior colleague, brother or sister. Like, what advice would you give to us on how to do well and hope that we do well in pediatrics and O&G? So,
from what we said, you can see that the pattern of exam questions change anytime you get, depending on the HOD and depending on the exam officer too. I'm just basically going to give you a general advice and then I'm going to add something to it. And what I would advise you to do is, first of all, if you have not started reading, please, it's not late, and it's also late too if you keep on doing what you have been doing, like keep on relaxing. You have been relaxing, it will be late. But if you pick up and just start being consistent, it's not late. You get, so what you can do is that you can write down all the topics you get, so that you would actually have you actually see the number of topics to read, because all the habit of looking at course outlines online on your phone.
hard copy now.
Yes, hard copy, sure. But what I did was that I got the 20 leaves down the topics and then I drew lines so that anytime I read it, I would tick it. So I would know how many times I read it. And then I also had another book for to-do list. Write down the number of topics in each course that I would like to read each day. You get. I will know that if I've not read these things, that means if I've not read all these topics, that means my day I've not really used it very well ahead, that kind of thing. So you can actually adopt that method. And then, like we have been saying, please, from 40 to 15B, don't joke with your postings. Go for postings. Yes, you cannot be everywhere at the same time, but at least try your best to be everywhere at the same time if it's possible. You can even if you are in any all this FECAM CMD association, you can try to bring your jotters during discussions, so that whatever you did not hear, even when you were in that unit, maybe you came late and all this kind of thing, maybe you came to hemato-oncology late after your own unit's posting, you can hear it there. I don't think wait till it's exam time for people to start bringing those books. I think as people are discussing other things, you can try to inculcate your posting notes. So whenever you are teaching, you can just say, they told us this thing today, and then you just write it down. You get that kind of thing. Don't joke with your postings. Try and participate. Try and click, even if they are laughing at you. See, it's not even, if people are laughing, they'll say, you did rubbish, you did nonsense. Keep clicking. You get, keep clicking. You understand? And try and look at pictures. Look at photographs. Look at if you see a case today in the clinic, maybe a case of a fibroid case, you can go to the net and look at fibroid pictures, because that might be the one they'll bring out. You get, or they might snap from the clinic. You understand? If you see a myomectomy case, try and look at the net for myomectomy. Look at and search for myomectomy on the net. You get, look at pictures, because they might bring it. If you see photograph, search for the net for it. You get, if you see CG, cardiotocograph, try and search. If you see it in the clinic, go to the net and check for it. Look at different pictures of it, because they brought one that it was not really try to study. Don't just limit yourself to the materials and to the textbooks. You get, try to check the net for different pictures, different informations concerning it, even for pediatrics. If you see a picture on OSPI, don't just read only those questions like Judah says. Check the net concerning about the topic and just read about it. You get then don't wait. Don't wait. Someone advised me concerning this thing. Don't wait till it's close to the OSPI exam time for you to start praying for OSPI. Start praying for OSPI and OSCE now. You can start trying. You can devote your weekends to OSPI and OSCE plus your materials too. You get, but don't wait to exam. Don't wait to exam. Close to exam and now tell yourself, I'll finish it. Do not just look at pictures and now you just see questions and that's before your life.
You could never tell us how they allot marks. OSPI, OSCE.
This issue of allotting marks, I know people are always curious about it. Me, my own principle might not be yours, but my own principle has always been, I don't really care how many marks they allot. My own is to get the maximum mark in every segment of the exam. If you have been getting 7.75% in every segment of the exam, eventually you have 75% at total score. If you have been getting 55%, you have 55 at total score. So for pediatrics, the clinical exam is usually like half of the marks. That's the long case exam. I think it's vague in my head, but it's vague now. But just have it in mind that every segment of the exam is important to prepare with all your efforts. There's a proverb, I think it's a Chinese proverb, that if a lion is trying to catch a rabbit, it will still use all its strength. It's not say because it's a rabbit, it will use small strength. And if you want to catch maybe a big animal, you use large strength. You use all the strength so that you will make sure you catches that rabbit.
Okay.
So use all your efforts in all the segments. So, like arrange in your mind, like when I was preparing for the exam, like the exam 2 segments in my head. Okay, pediatrics, am I good at the theory? Okay, I say okay, to some extent I've read the materials. What of the clinicals? Am I good at the clinicals? Okay, no, my clinical skills is not good. I have to improve on that. What of the OSCE? What of the have you mentalize the exam in your mind? So for O and G, okay, how is my theory basis? That is the MCQ and essay. How is my preparation for OSPI? How is my preparation for OSCE? And so compartmentalize it like that. But just know that clinicals, that's in O and G, clinicals is OSPI and OSCE. In pediatrics, clinicals is long case and OSPI. Clinicals carry more marks than the theory aspect. That is just the general thing.
And then avoid this mentality of not clerking in O and G. Maybe to you,
you're not very good at it.
No, to you, like, it's OSCE now. It's OSCE to answer. I can just cram the questions.
Okay.
You get, for instance, for this our surgery now, like normally before it was OSCE only, but now they brought in long case. You understand? So that's why I said you should try and be active in your postings. Try and advise that you also start writing essays. You get, look for past questions, start writing essays. Okay, for O and G, they not bring old questions. They brought from our materials. We saw questions that we never knew they could actually ask. But those questions were simple. You get. So for O and G, it's not just about bringing past questions. All those, like now, if you see a topic now, all those subtopics in a topic. Okay. Those are potential essay questions. Okay. Even a definition of something can be a potential essay questions. You get. So you can just get a book. So if you are reading a topic now, for instance, if you are reading maybe postpartum hemorrhage now, you now write postpartum hemorrhage. Number 1 essay. What is define postpartum hemorrhage? That kind of thing. Number 2, list causes of. You get every subtopic, turn it into an essay question in your book. Get a book for essay questions and turn all those things to essay questions. That's what I did. You understand? To actually help you. You get, you do past questions, but don't just assume that they might not come out. They might not come out. Okay. But just for to help.
But if you also do that, those subtopics essays, those past questions too also fall on that.
They also fall.
Don't you think there were questions that were not in the material that was in the past questions?
The reason why I'm saying you should also do past questions is because of the experience you had for surgery. Like for instance, now they asked us suprapubic cystostomy. You get, those things are not in our material. They not teach it. You get. But now if you look at our own past questions, you now know that there is a likely chance that has something that they did not teach. So as you are trying to make essays out of materials, try to answer past questions too, even though it might not come out, just to be safe. Because in this school you cannot really trust anyone, because you don't know the new HOD that is coming might come up with a new strategy. You get. Hold God tight in school. Tell God to help you, because what we are telling you now might be different for you and for you people. You get.
True.
You understand? Like might be totally different for you. Don't take the Holy Spirit away from your schedule, you understand? Because it's even the one that will even give you strength for this exam. So after crying, pray, tell God to help you. You understand? He's always there, standing, waiting to help you.
That's my own from where she stopped, from her last advice. So for Christians in the audience, try and be an important part of my experience, especially in my final exam. Like my final exam from start to finish, right? Every exam that came, there was an instruction. I'll be reading about waiting for an instruction, a strategy. Then please know that God guides in exams. God guides, and He guides also in exams. For those that are not Christians, well, please, our advice is to become Christians for your sake. Also, some other strategies are that, like she mentioned, having a 20 leaves where you write the topics. That is very important. What I did then was I printed the course outline, pasted it on my wardrobe. So if I finish reading, I'll take it. If I finish reading again, I'll take it again. So that's also something that you can do. Be diligent. Try and have a minimum amount of time you read per day. There's something we have in CMDA, an acronym called my MAMNS, my academics must not suffer. So have that mentality that no matter how busy you are, even if you are married with children and you're also doing business at the same time, still have that mentality that my academics should not suffer. So I will give my academics time every day to the best of my ability. So if you give your academics time every day, even if it's 2 hours every day, 3 hours, that consistency will actually strengthen you. So no matter even if they tough in the exam, no matter how they make an exam tough, there are still people that will pass. True. And there are still people that will still pass well. True. No matter how they tough in an exam. True. All right. Do your due diligence, prepare, and you eventually. Sometimes I see my lecturer and I say, "Wow, this is what they're threatening." I was at terror that time. I've passed that level. So I just want to tell you that these two shall pass. Yeah. So just become about the whole thing. Don't be so tense about the whole thing. Eventually it will pass, and you'll pass this phase of your life.
In as much as you have told you to try your best and all that, sometimes life happens. Sometimes you might fail a course. You understand? But just know that it's not the end. If you have any issue with any course, just rise up and try your best again. You understand? Because I mean, the problem we usually have, the problem with all these people being depressed is that we tend to compare ourselves with those around us. But imagine if you failed and there was nobody in this world. You would surely just, after maybe crying, just get up immediately and so just be focused. Look straight ahead. Don't look at those around you. Yes, you can learn from them, but sometimes life happens. So if you're unlucky to maybe to meet a malignant consultant and then maybe you were not prepared or that kind of thing, or maybe something happened and then maybe you fail, just make sure that after crying, because I know it's not easy, just try your best again, because eventually after 3 years, 4 years, you forget all these things happen and to just be like a story. You understand? And you even help people around you.
I want to emphasize it again, please. Clack. Have a minimum amount of times you clack per week. It might be 1, it might be 2, it might be 3, and just try. And some people even say 5. Exactly. So no, seriously, you must be intentional about it. The more you clack, the more you get better at it. So the best places to clack, in my opinion, is clinic and CHOP. The patients are more willing. You just tell them, "I'll clack you." After I clack, I'll present you to my consultant or to the doctor. They usually agree. So don't miss out. At least for every unit, you have 1 clinic day, you have 1 CHOP day. CHOP is children outpatient. So at least that is 2. Clack those 2 days. Then you can now add word clackings. So if you can clack every day, fine. But just have a minimum amount of time you clack per week. It will really help you. Of course, also when you clack, try and examine. O&G is very stereotypical. There are some common things in O&G that if they want to ask OSCE on issue taking, they will ask. They are the most common things. Clack, prepare for those most common things like infertility, leiomyoma. Common things occur commonly, both in practice and in exams. So try and practice those common things. O&G, please practice your examination properly and try and practice it in the clinic. Now, other examinations is easy to practice on your bed and all that, but for O&G, especially obstetrics exam, the gravity uterus.
Nobody's pregnant in the room now.
Exactly. So you need to practice that with. I know as well to try and clack every obstetrics obstetric clinic day. And when you clack, when you present your case, tell your consultant that, "Sir, can I examine her so that you correct me?" So that because that's on how you place your hand that they are looking at. They are very particular about how you place your hand, how you do those movements. There's something called the Leopold maneuvers. They are very particular about how you do those things. So try and crack obstetric clinic and examine. Common, like I've mentioned that on Professor Ioke's book, common procedure. I've forgotten the name, but something about procedures. So just read those common procedures, and because they will likely come out in your OSCE.
Okay.
They asked us passing implant, that's intradermal implants, implanon, and not MVA, vacuum. Describe how to use vacuum and all that. So those common things, just practice them. So thank you all.
And then OSCE, I forgot. If they give you a question, like for instance, if they tell you to do and pass a speculum, please don't stop with speculum. They will tell you pass a speculum, but you have to tell them that you want to do a vaginal exam, because those things also have marks. I think most people did not know, you get. So after passing a speculum, I told them that I would like to do a vaginal exam. Then the man asked me, what will you see? When I told him what I'm expecting to look out for, he now marked some things, you get. So if they ask you to do a procedure, I know that there are some other things you can do after that during clinic. Tell them you want to do it. They might tell you don't worry, you get. But make sure that if you are telling them you want to do it, that you know how to do it, in case they now tell you carry on, because you get. Please, apart from your case book, Professor OBDK's book, please try and get it and finish it, you get. Yeah, please try and finish it to help you too for pediatrics.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ebube and Dr. Judah. Wow, I learned a lot, a whole lot. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. I'm so grateful. Okay, so this is the end of the video, you guys. Make sure that you guys learned, and make sure you guys do all the things they said today. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like and comment and share to your friends. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video to the very end. God bless you. See you next time in my next video. I say bye.
Bye.
Bye.